Evening everybody. So let's just make sure everything's working. You never know what the broadband's like. Every day I read the book. Every day I read the book. How's it going? How is it going, Wella family? What's going on? How's it going? So comment, like, do everything that you need to do there. Hi, how's it going? So, yeah, great. Brandon's on. How you doing, Brandon? How are you? Good. Will I see you at Trend Vision tomorrow, the other night? Will I see you next week? Jonathan Donovan, how's it going? Great to see you, man. Great to see you. I had such a crack with you guys in South Africa. Can you hear me okay? Everybody can hear me? My man, Donovan. That was a great picture of you. Your brilliant hat. Hi, Emma. I'll see you next Monday. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll see you next Monday, Emma, at Trend. I'm going to go through it today, actually, because I've just got the list of the shows and I know who's playing. Hi, Susan. How's you? Saw you there with your lovely dog out. Looks like you had a nice old walk. Can't beat a walk. Hiya, Nick. Good morning, Nick. How are you? I'm dying to see you in Lanzarote. You're great. You're prepping, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm judging colour. I don't know if I'll... but I'll see you on the day and I'll be going live that morning. So I might try and grab a quick word with you, Brandon, if you're not too stressed. Hi, Elisa. How's it going? I'll grab a quick word with you. You can go and say hello to the community and everybody like that, you know. And, yeah, as everybody's coming on, so hit the likes, hit the loves. You can hear me. Yeah, no, Emma, I'm dying to see you. I'm going to be very close to the stage because I'll obviously be going... I'll be doing lives and I'll be talking to the audience. I'll be doing my whole Terry Wogan thing as I do here, you know. So, but just come straight up to me. Oh, the nerves. Neve's representing Ireland. Hi, Susan. How are you? Hopefully I'll see you next week. Not next week. I don't know. Are you at British Trend? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, Brandon, we'll have a word. Definitely we'll have a word. I'll grab you quickly. Let's hope that the broadband signal is good in the new Wella studio. I haven't had a chance to test it out, but I will be testing it to the max. Because next week is a big week. And in fact, the week after is a big week. But next week is a really big week because it is Trend Vision UK and Ireland final. Now, for anybody who's in the business... Hey, Kelly, how are you? Anybody who's in the business... knows how strong the UK is, particularly, you know, it's probably, I mean, for hair cutting, hey Kelly, for hair cutting, there probably isn't. Hi Tracy, how's it going? Good to see you on. Yeah, you get in there, Neve, you get in there. It's very good in our new studio. I'll be testing it. The last time I was there, I didn't go live because I just recorded stuff. Hi Rachel, how are you? I didn't go live. But this time I want to introduce the world to the new UK studio, which is 1 Trafalgar, which is just one of the most incredible it's one of the most incredible streets just right around the corner from Trafalgar Square, just down from Buckingham Palace. So it's an amazing, it's all glass, it's beautiful. So I'll give you all. Oh, you'll be watching. Salon International. Sue, you can watch with me and you can comment. Hey John. Yeah, the boss is on, John. Don't know about that, but you know, here we are. Hi, Shira, how are you? How's it going? Jake, what's going on, man? Great to see you on. Joanna, I'm going to see you at Trend, maybe. Alexa, how's it going, babes? How are you? I saw that beautiful picture of you. You won't be long before you have a bambino. Beautiful picture. You look gorgeous. I love babies. Hi, Wardy, how are you doing? How's it going? Teresa from South Africa. My South African crew, I love them so much. They're just such lovely, lovely people. And don't worry about the old loss in the rugby. You'll come back from that, you know. You'll probably be facing Ireland in the quarterfinals, though, I would say, but the looks for because Ireland played well today. So you've 1 week to go. Oh my God, you must be nervous, are you? You have nothing to be. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I've had 3 children. My wife will tell you she's had 3 children, but actually it was me. I had the 3 children and she came along for the ride. You know what I'm saying? So that's the crack, Jack. So next week, yeah, okay, Joanna, come up to me because I'll be busy, but come up to me. You know, I'm all about the people. I couldn't care. I'm all about the people and having a bit of crack. Hey, Sammy, how are you? Thanks for coming on. Hey, Hayley, thanks for coming on. So, I mean, I don't think, you know, countries are famous for certain things. And I've judged UK trends 7 times. I think this is my 8th time judging it. There was only 1 year I missed it. I'm not quite sure why I missed it. I think I had something on for Wella. Something else on at the time. It's your dream to enter trends, Jack. You go ahead and do it. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Trend Vision starting off. Then we'll go into a few different things. And then we'll go into what a few posts we put up today. Hi, Liz. Great to see you on. Wouldn't feel right if you weren't here. You know, it just wouldn't feel right if you weren't here. Great to see you on, babes. And great to see all you people on. All being yourselves on the page. All doing your thing. Putting up your pictures and talking to each other and helping each other. You're all just amazing. So Trend Vision, it's in Camden. Camden's a very special town. Whenever I think of Camden, I always think of Akin and I always think of Hob, you know, and I always think of those type of haircuts. You know, just a specific type of. Hi Rob, how's it going? I'm going to talk about you later on, sir, because you're one of the shows next week. So the competition itself is held in the Wella studio at 1 Trafalgar, which is an incredible, beautiful studio, all glass. And I will be there from early, so I'm judging colour, and then there's lots of different other awards on at the day. There's the creative artist, and there's lots of different awards on. So I'm gonna make sure I can get in and see most of the show, most of the stuff, and try and bring as much to you live as I possibly can, because when you go live you get a feeling like you're there, you get a feel of that energy. It's like me being here with you guys. I'm here with all you. I can see all your faces on the top of the page, and that makes me feel like I'm here with you guys, which makes it enjoyable. Otherwise would just be, you know, videos. So so it'll come in live, and it'll go at about, I think it'll kick off at about 9:30, 10. There'll be a lot of different competitors, and then there'll be the Irish final, which will be in one room, and there'll be the UK final in the other room, and the same in different ones. There'll be barbers, and then upstyle, and creative avant-garde, creative artist, all that type of thing. They'll be very nervous. I think there's been more international winners that have come from UK. I would definitely hand on heart say more international winners have come from UK than anywhere else. I would say maybe Taiwan second, maybe Taiwan, and then maybe Ireland has had 2. Myself and Darren Lacken have both won international trends, and Darren is on that night. He's going to be doing a model in the Collaborate show that night, so it'll be great to see Darren. He's a gent, an amazing hairdresser, and just such a lovely guy. And again, I'll try and have a few words with all of them, because Akin's doing an award. Hi Salas, how are you? I saw you up there, up in the countryside. Hiya Soph, how you doing? How are you? Good to see you on. I really love UK Trend. It's one of my favourite shows to judge. It's one of my favourite shows because it's usually really close. You know, and there's usually a huge diversity in the type of models you see. You know, the first, second and third can be so different. You can have one that can be very hairdresser, very hairdresser inspired, very avant-garde. And then the second one can be very Instagram, very beautiful pictures and very Instagram ready. And the third one can just be something completely out of left field, but the model steals the show, or something about it steals the show, you know. So that's the competition. That's in 1 Trafalgar, and we'll be bringing that to you live from the page as much as I can. Obviously, once we're judging, I won't be, you know, it's all about the competitors then. But before they go on, and we get to see pictures of their models and then showing them in the afternoon. And I'll be putting up pictures as we go along and talking to people everywhere I can, you know, and anyone to see. And so when I go live, if there's something you want to see, if there's some part of the thing or some question you want to ask, just ask it, and I will see the comment, and then I will go and try and find it for you. And then that evening, after the competition is judged, they have a show. They have a runway show for all the competitors. So all the competitors are brought through the runway, and it's an amazing moment for them all, and they're all brought down, and it's in the huge roundhouse in Camden, which is a beautiful event, and it's a dinner. It's gorgeous. and the best of the best of British Hairdressing is there that night. And then there's 3 shows on that night. There's Robert Ethan, who's on live here. Robert's doing a show. My voice is better than last week, is it? I mean, it's really weird because I'm not doing anything different, Solace. It's really weird. But it's maybe it's just because I don't know. I didn't have a drink last night. I had to go out to dinner, and maybe I don't have a hangover. I don't know. Maybe I didn't have a gargle. I went out for dinner and I drove the car, and because it was lashing rain, and I just wasn't, sitting in restaurants getting a taxi home in the rain. You know how it is, especially after working all Saturday. So maybe that's why my voice is better, Salas. I'm not sure, but I love to hear the comments. I love to hear the comments. I hear you laughing. I'll kill you anyway. So then the Roundhouse. So there's 3 shows on that evening. There's Robert Eaton show, which I think is called Celeste. Robert will probably give us a hiya, Lee. It's very late in San Francisco. I'm amazed you're on, but always great to have you on. I love you. You're a huge community member, and you're always giving brilliant advice. So thanks for being who you are, Lee. Hi, Karen. How are you, babes? Good to see the hearts coming up there. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you on. So the shows are Robert. Yeah, we're creating Celestial. Okay, I'd say it's going to be incredible because Rob really knows has been fine tuning his BHAs and his show work over the last couple of months, and he has a really strong team that he works with, and I'm expecting it to be an amazing experience. I expect it to be an amazing experience. Then Sassoon have a show as well, so Sassoons will be doing their thing, which they always do great shows. And then there's a special show called Collaborate, where there's 5 or 6 of some of the best hairdressers in the world, or in the Wella portfolio, whichever way you want to put it. I think Akin's doing a model, Darren's doing a model, and they're going to choose their favourite colour and their favourite sort of styles from the Wella portfolio at the moment and showcase them. So that's going to be a brilliant show as well. So you'll have a collaboration of many different artists there in one go. Darren for sure. And there's Leandro on there. Leandro has won Trend Vision for Brazil, and he's won Trend Vision for Ireland. I think he's the only person who has won a Trend Vision national final for 2 different countries. He has represented Ireland, I think, 3 or 4 times, and has an eye for putting an image together really brilliantly. And I will definitely get a chance to talk to Leandro, because we know each other quite well from me judging and from him on the other side, and I know the journey quite well because I've been a competitor, and I know how I love you too, sir. I know how tough the journey is and how hard it is to be mentored because you want to win, and I know how tough it all is. I really do. I love you too, sir. So I'll try and talk to you that morning. I loved your model in Ireland, and I'd imagine you're only going to up the game even more so, but we will definitely have a chance, Leandro, because you are, when it comes to competition work, I know you're thinking of taking a step back this year. You are an absolute legend, and I could just do a Sunday service on your different entries. I think you've entered for Ireland 2 or 3 times. I think you've won 2 or 3 times, and you've gone across and entered for Brazil and won for Brazil. So hats off to you, sir. It's an incredible achievement. But for all of you out there, who are representing their countries, or representing, it's an extremely nervous time. So you're given about 3 hours to create your look, and that includes colours. So you don't have a lot of time. So you need to be prepped, and you need to be ready to go, and you need to know what you're about on the day, because the time flies very quick. For my beautiful Ireland, we love you too, Leandro. I love you too, and you know what? You're just. I've heard your name mentioned so many times from different people when it comes to Trend Vision, and I always just think, I always just say that's a brilliant thing. You know what I mean? So many people are inspired by it, myself included. Anyway, best of luck next week. So for all the competitors out there to enter, try on the morning to be prepped as much as you possibly can. Be ready to go. Sometimes they leave the makeup to last minute, so I think if you have the basic foundational makeup on, it's probably not a bad idea. Sometimes they're sitting in they're trying to dress them at the end of it, so it can depend on what type of clothes you have, whether you want to dress it before or dress her after, but there is a tendency then, because of the nerves, to overdo things. You overdo the blow dry, overdo the irons, overdo the hairspray, overdo everything like that. So to try and remember that the hair should look fresh. The model should love her hair, because it's very evident on a model's face if she doesn't like her hair. So if your model is standing in front of the judges and she has that look on her face like, I hate my hair, you're not going to win, okay? You're not going to win. So it's very, very important that your model loves her hair, that her hair is a part of her, and that it's a reflection of a total look. So you're selling a total look and a total image, and to have that image in mind while you're working, it's very, very important. It's very, very important to have that whole feel and have that whole image while you're working, and so that the makeup and the clothes and the model and the hair all reflect each other, but that the core is the hair. To remember that the core is the hair, it is the colour, it is the cut, it's the shape, it's how it works with the model, how it works with her skin, how it works with her eyes, how it works with her vocal points, what vocal points are there with the cuts, and how the colour marries that and brings it all together is in the colour award. And then in the creative it could be other things, So to remember all that type of stuff, and to try not let your nerves get the better of you, because you do end up over styling it, over hairspraying it, over blow drying it, over, and keep touching it and keep doing this, and then it ends up and it's too much. And don't make your life too much difficult. If you know what you're going to do with your colour, be prepared to know what you do. Have the tubes ready, have your bowls ready, have your brushes ready, have your gloves ready. I've seen people spend 15 minutes trying to find a pair of gloves, and suddenly they're half an hour, and then they're looking for they're looking for a tube of mixed tone like 088, and they can't find it, and suddenly an hour's gone and they haven't even started their model, and then things go downhill rapidly for them very quickly. You need to stay on it, and if you need a specific colour in your hand, then have a tube of 088 and keep it in your pocket, or you know what I mean, be on it, be together with it. Don't leave anything for chance. She's more gorgeous. She's married to her. Okay. So these things are important, and I wish everybody the best of luck. And we'll be going live. And as I say, that show that night will be amazing. I'll be going live for the show, so you'll get to see Robert's show live, and hopefully I might get back. It's very tight, but hopefully I might get backstage to have a quick word with Rob and with some of the judges as well. There's some really brilliant judges there's really, really brilliant judges, so hopefully I can have a few words with Coss, or with with a few different people who are who are legends really, and who get given an opportunity to give us their opinion of what's going on and what's going down. Hiya Daniel, how you doing? What's going on and what's going down in here at the moment? So hopefully I'll get backstage as well. It'll be busy enough that night, but I will really try to get back and to get you behind the stage as well as then front and centre for the shows. I've been I'm working it out so that I'm in a good position so I can record it all for you guys. And the UK team are terrific. They've been on to me, WhatsApping me all week to make sure that it's all going to come together for you guys. So it's brilliant, because a lot of them are on the page now following everything as well. So it's amazing. It's going to be an amazing night. Hi Isadora, how are you? So that's next Monday. So next Sunday, if I'm going to have a Sunday service, it'll be probably from the airport, or it'll be from London. Maybe we'll go around from London, and we go for a little walk around Trafalgar Square and try to go live or something. We'll work something out. Usually the lives come from whatever's going on the page this week. There was a lot of mention of Trend Vision, so I felt I had to mention it. Plus other things we were talking about today. So there was a lot of mention of Trend Vision, and we put up pictures of some great posts about Trend. And all week, please put up your posts to do with Trend Vision, your Trend Vision experiences, your Trend Visions over the years, your models. It's a great time of year, and don't be afraid to put up Hi, Hizzy. How you doing? Don't be afraid to put up whatever you like. Put up if you have any Trend Vision journeys or Trend Vision experiences, to put them up, because it's great to see it. Just another thing that I sort of, hiya Terry, how are you? Love some of your pictures this week. I tell you what, you made me want a Jameson. You did. I was looking at you having that Jameson and bitter lemon, and oh man, yummy. You can't beat a Jemmy. A whiskey sour. Yeah, no, well, thank you, Salas, but it's all, I've also got some, it's great that Wella are supporting me on this, and that they're not telling me to get behind them, they're telling me to get in front and help them out. I have some really fantastic support systems in place from Wella. They've been really great right from the start, particularly last year, hey Terry, look, have to have an old Jemmy the next time we see each other. Particularly Sylvie last year, who I explained what I thought we could do, and she agreed. She thought we could do it, and so we're very lucky, Salas, to have a company like Wella who are highlighting the independent voice in hairdressing and being a part of. Yeah, we'll definitely come and see you backstage, Robert. Because you've been on the page now you've been with the community for the last few weeks, so let's just keep that up. You know what I mean? Because you're an absolute gent, and you and me, we've done so many shows together over the years. We've so many stories, and you work behind the chair, and you're exactly the type of mentor and leader that we all need. We all need going forward, because authentic is what it's all about these days. Authentic is what it's all about, and you're authentic. Hiya Chris, how's it going? Sorry about the rugby the other day. Yeah, it was a tough game, but you'll come back. Don't worry, you'll come back. You'll probably meet us in the quarterfinals, and that'll be a hell of a game. So don't worry, you'll come back from that. So the second thing, this came up a lot during the week. I noticed, and I think I have the answer for it. An awful lot of people seem to be, toning at the basins all over, with different variants of colours. They're using Illumina, or they're using Collison, or they're using Colour Touch, or whatever they're using, but they're using like level 9s. Flies my room, my nerves, prep. Oh, Melinda, yeah, no, the time flies, Melinda. I've seen people looking for a mixed tone tube for 15-20 minutes, and the next thing you know, they can't even get time to put the makeup on. Have yourself prepared on the morning. Prepared. If you need to have the tubes of colour, buy them and bring them with you. Do you know what I mean? Have them prepared. Have them ready. Hiya, Colin, how's it going? I'll see you next week. I loved your model, Melinda, by the way. I loved your model. I thought it was fantastic. And myself and Terry were talking about you when we were in a destination, and how great you are, and how much I love you, and how much he loves you. And, fantastico. But I've noticed that some people are just they're toning all over. Do a head of highlights, and they tone everything with like 1081 in Colour Touch, or they tone it with 916 1080 in Collison, or 1069 10:1 960 in Illumina, and they tone it all over, and then they sort of say it feels like it's lightened the base a little bit, and it really, when you think about it, you're putting a level 10 to tone highlights that are probably a level 10, but that everything around it is hiya Michael, how are you, the Melt Master? That everything around it, let's just say she's a base 6, so that everything around her is like a base 6, and then you're putting a 10 on. That's obviously going to disturb the underlying pigment a little bit, because it's a 4 shades away level, so by putting that on all over, it has a tendency to warm, either to break the base or to warm up the base and stuff like that. So I've seen this quite a lot, and I think the answer, to it not lighten the base. Now you're okay, Mike, you can watch it back. I think the answer to that is to take a melt approach. I've been watching this on the page. People haven't been really moaning or giving out or anything. They've just been sort of saying, I felt it was this and I felt it was that. But I think that if that was Salas, we will definitely meet, sir. We'll definitely meet. We'll meet the next time. Yeah, it is a problem, Terry. I've seen it on the page this week. You probably noticed it yourself. You don't miss much. And I've seen it, so they're using level 10 all over the head, and say she's a level 6 or she's a level 7. like let's just say it's 1081 colour touch and they leave it on for 15-20 minutes, it's obviously going to disturb the underlying base, because it doesn't matter what colour it is, it's 4 shades lighter than the natural base, or 3 shades lighter than the natural base. And if the hair is fine, the heat off the scalp is going to make it lift. That's just how colour works. But if you were to take her up out of the basin, okay, use a post-service conditioner first, which just makes the hairs, pHs it down, makes it acidic, and gives it an even porosity, an even pH all the way through from root to point. Boom. So you put that on first. If the new one in Colour Motion Plus, which is really quick, you can do that in a minute or two, or you have Service Post, or you have Blonde or Sealer Care, or you have the one in Magma. So if you're to put that on for 5 minutes or so, and then that evens out your canvas, okay? Evens out your canvas. Let's just say she's a base 7 fine hair, okay? So it evens out your canvas, and you have your highlights and all that done. So you do that Service Post, leave it on, rinse it off, bring her back to the section, okay? And then there's a new spray which is out in Colour Motion. You can if you have very porous ends, or if you think the hair is uneven, you can use the spray to even out areas that you feel are more porous than the others. The best way to check that out is usually when you're drying with a towel. When you dry your hair, if you take the towel off, if areas have lightened up like really, really quickly on in your hand, and you're looking like there's no water in there at all, you're probably saying to you, you're probably saying to yourself that there's water, that's very porous because it dried out so quickly. Do you understand what I mean? It just dried out so quickly. So, then I would use the spray in those areas. You can either dry it in or you can just damp spray it on. So you spray that on and you have all the hair there. So this is like, it's not a melt because you're not doing it like 3 or 4 shades darker. It's just a way of toning that won't disturb the underlying pigments. So let's just say, so she's a base 7, okay? So if you wanted it like a 1081 result to a certain extent, and you put 1081 all over and it went on at the root, there's a good chance it could lighten the root, yeah? Okay. So if we're all in the salons together. Okay, yeah, it really is, Jake. It really is, but we forget. You know what I mean? We just forget, and if these things become normal, and then these problems will start happening. And as Terry said, it's a big problem. We see it on the page an awful lot, because you're toning with a 10 all over. So anyway, here we are. She's at the basins. Her ends are a little bit dry. I've sprayed this on. I've brought her back to the section. Now I don't want a melt effect. I just want a nice toned, beautiful head of highlights. I don't want like dark to light. I don't want the shadow root, really. I just want it. So let's just take it like that. So we have all our highlight shapes done. Boom. Everything's in the shape. We've put on our spray. So let's just use, let's say she's a base 7. So let's just use a base 8 at the root. Okay? Because it won't disturb the hair if it's just one shade in the difference. So let's use an 881 on the root first. Apply it on the root first. 881. Apply it on the root and bring it out anywhere there's sort of natural hair, bring it out nice and uneven, Yeah, well, the Colour Motion is brilliant. The treatment is very, very strong, so you only need it in set. It's so you bring out your little 881 out onto areas where all the natural hair is at. So you're sort of protecting it from being disturbed and from lightening, and you've pH'd it properly, so it's not going to go mental on you. It's just nice and even. So as you're putting that on, you can see it's going to take lovely. And with the new spray, it really takes beautifully. I have to say, the new Colour Motion spray is something I've been asking for a while, and I'm over the moon with it. It's exactly what I needed, and it's exactly what's needed. Particularly, I used it the other day for when I'll have to look up the picture. But this head is why I'm talking to you now, because this is why I did it. I mean, she had one of those sort of level 7s that if you put a 10 on it for even 5 minutes, it would disturb the underlying pigment. And the next time she came in, she'd be saying to me, my roots were a little bit brassy. You know what I mean? So I brought her up and I put the 881 just on her root and out smudged to where the natural hair is, And I will send you a spray, Salas. If you don't have it by Christmas, I will send you a spray, okay, sir? Take that to the bank, okay? Or if your lovely client from Cyprus is going back to Cyprus, she's going to go back with a bottle. How's that sound? Just send a message and I'll send it over to you, okay? I don't charge extra for Colour Motion. I build everything into my prices. I don't charge really extra for treatments. I don't do a separate pricing. I just charge quite a lot of money up front, but that's just... I showed the bottle last week, Anita. I showed the bottle here last week, but I'll bring one home and show it to you next week. Hiya, Sarah. How's it going? I am... okay. I am... but they'll be out. It's going to be out in January, you know? It's going to be out in January. So, by using a slightly darker tone on the root first, you're obviously stopping the underlying pigment from being disturbed, but you're not doing a dark enough level that's going to affect the look. You know what I mean? You're not like doing a 6 or an 8 on a, you know, you're not going darker. Good, Sarah, good. You're not doing a 6 or 8, but an easy, if you watch it back last week, you'll see me spraying it backways and sideways here. It was very funny. I watched it back and I'm spraying it like that and it's going that way, and I'm spraying it like that and it's going that way. It was like, it was pure Andrew, as they say in the salon. It was pure Andrew, you know. If you can get something wrong, I do get something wrong. So if you do the 881 on first, do you know what I mean, on that first, then on the root, so give that about 5 minutes head start. And then this lady that we did yesterday, the other day, then we just gave that a couple of minutes head start, and then we went straight in with 1081 and 106 in the Colour Touch, okay? And we put that on all over, and we left it on for the full 20 minutes. And it toned perfectly, and you wouldn't have known that I'd used a darker colour at the root, but it didn't disturb her underlying pigment, not one bit. And with the service post going on, it took really evening. So you're using dual shades, not so that they look like dual shades, just so they don't mess around with the underlying pigments. Okay, I'm seeing this on the page a lot. Give this a go. It takes all of 5 minutes to do something like this properly, and if your client's hair is in good nick and they come back and their hair's in good nick, they're never going to leave your salon, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about that later. You know what I mean? So you can do a shadow root without it being a shadow root. That's what I'm saying. There's this belief system that, right, I'm going to tone this with a 10, okay? Put 1081 all over. No, because if you do, it's going to disturb the underlying pigment on the root. So bring her up, put an 8 on the root, and bring it out to where the natural is. And then on the further ones out, hiya Lloyd, and on the further ones out, then go out with whatever you want. And you want, when it's blow dried, it'll actually look perfection. The 881 into 1081 looked perfect, because all it will do at the root is probably lighten her root. Do you know what I mean? So think about the levels, not just the colour you're using. Well, it's a Colour Touch, so it's a demi. It won't disturb the underlying pigments. If there's 3 shades in the difference, it's going to shift because there's 3 shades in the difference. That's, that's just, I'm glad, Laura, it's a game changer, because it's these simple things like this that you don't think about. And it's the simple, you know what perfection is, even though it doesn't really exist. Perfection is a lot of different things all done really well. So you do your service post really well, you shampoo with the right shampoo really well, spray on a pH spray if the hair is very porous, treat the hair at the root where there's hair is more natural with your highlights than you would on the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would do, and that's what I would recommend, and you will not get base shifts then, okay? But if you're putting a 10 level, regardless of whether it's Colour Touch or whatever, on at the root with the heat. Hiya, Huno. How's it going, Alison? I'm telling you, babes. How's it going? Can't wait to get over and see you guys. Yeah, there's been a lot there said already. Hiya, Clive. How's it going? Good to see you. So, think about that. And it's also a beautiful service. You know what I mean? Like, I explained to this client what I was doing and why I was doing it. You know what I mean? So, she really got it. I mean, because her roots tend to go brassy very quickly. She's one of those very light 7s, really blue eyes, but doesn't want a base shift at all. And, and doesn't want a shadow root either. She just wants a beautiful head of highlights. So we just went with the 881, boom, and then went into what our target tone was, which was 1081 and 106, and it was rocking. It was perfect. And hiya, Jerry, and you wouldn't have known I used a darker one on the root. But I tell you what, if I hadn't of, you know what you'd know? You'd see a warm, you'd see where the pigment had been disturbed, you know? So, you know, yeah, we're going to talk about that later, actually. I'm going to talk about that. Well, yeah, I'm nearly there, actually, because we're bombing through that. We're bombing through it tonight, you know what I mean? We're bombing through it tonight. I was because again, maybe I was no vodka last night. I mean, on a Saturday night, it's not like me. I had to go out for dinner because my wonderful wife is 40 next week, so we all went out for dinner. Listen, anything, Sally. Look, Salis, anything with a developer in it can disturb the underlying pigments. Really, anything. I mean, even acidic products, they're mostly acidic once you add the developer in, but when they're in the tube, they're not. So if you don't mix them properly, they can disturb the root. Anything can, you know, but if you keep the level around the root closer to the level of her colour, you know, like if she's a 6 around a 7 to an 8, if she's a 7 around an 8, to, you know, if you keep it around that, you know, that it should work really, really well for you. It's something we do in the salon all the time, and I don't know why I didn't think to talk about it before, you know, I just don't know why. We did it on Saturday, and I didn't have time to do it myself, and my main man Rob stepped in, and I was watching him sectioning it off and putting the 881 on, and it was absolutely perfect. Yes, she's downstairs, it's her big birthday, yeah, so it's plenty of dough arriving next week, and we had a lovely dinner last night, loads of friends out. And I actually survived till 11, which after me working a week and on a Saturday. Yeah, I'd say you're a shifts, Alison, does it? So you're a neutral 5 to 6 and you get a shift of 1.9. But I'd enjoy doing that, Alison, because I'd find a way to make your hair not shift. But I'd probably use relights on it anyway. But yeah, fine textured hair just tends to lift, doesn't it? Like, just lifts like that, you know. I know in the Eastern European countries, from talking to Spila and stuff, it's a real issue with, you know, no matter what you think of. But I think that this approach will knock 8 out of 10 out of it, you know, that if you find a way to tone in around the root area, only a level in between what they actually are, it will work for you. And we were going to work on this. Thanks, Martha, I'll pass it on. She's downstairs trying to keep the kids quiet because they've been on a bit of a mad one today, and yeah, they know Daddy goes live on a Sunday, so they have to try and keep it down. So they're what they do is they actually sit downstairs in the kitchen with an iPad on, with me on the iPad, so they know that the minute I'm not on the iPad, then they will go bananas again, you know what I mean? So they're downstairs in the kitchen, you know, playing Rock the Boat down there, and then once I press the finish button, then boom, it's up and down the stairs, or wrecking the shop and wrecking the place again, you know what I mean? So it's great, and we had a lovely babysitter last night, which was great as well, you know what I mean? So that's what goes on. They're downstairs watching me going, how long is he going to talk for? And then the minute he stops talking, it's up and down the stairs, and it's Desert Storm in here, you know, again. So it all that's kind of how it rolls, you know what I mean? This is how it is in Hollywood. We've done relights and all, but I just don't get the chance to play around with it as much, you know. There's an answer out there, Alison, you know, and it's most likely with you and me a rude one, you know what I mean? Because we're just naturally rude people. On the same swatch, it's amazing how little difference there was between the two. Tenno and Colour Touch and Tenno on the same swatch. I would say there's very little difference, because like a 10-0 wants to be a 10-0. Hiya, Lucian. Like a 10-0 level wants to be a 10-0 level. So if you put it on a 6-0, it's going to want to pull the hair towards a 10-0 level, because it's a 10-0. It's you know, its nature can only be what it actually is. I love that question though. Hiya, Lucian. Congratulations again on another international award. There's a few huge award winners on here tonight with you know, with Leandro on and Lucian. There's a few, like, we're so lucky on this page to have some of the greatest competitive hairdressers in the world, who are all on the page to post pictures for us. We're extremely lucky. Sexy Science, like a 10 wants to be a 10, Kelly does. At the end of the day, a 10 wants to be a 10, and if you put it on a base 6 or a base 7, it's going to want to be. Let me see this. Okay, Jake. What's the thinner the sections, the more precise waves per pocket. Foil gives you beauty saturated colour. See, it depends what you're into, you know what I mean? And we're going to talk about this now. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about this now. I was thinking about this I spoke a little bit about it last week at Destination, because I talked to a lot of people about different, to do with their career and different types of stuff. And I suppose I'm a bit older and I've done a lot of it. I've you're welcome, Terry. You're welcome. I've done a lot of it, but there somebody sent me a PM during the week and sort of and it sort of had the illusion that if they had like 100,000 followers on Instagram, and they were under the illusion that I was a superstar or something because I run this page and because I'm part of the community and stuff, that I was like, that I live in the gilded cage, and I live in Graceland, you know what I mean, and that they had this kind of disappear. And I know this I kind of get this as well. I understand this, but it's not really how things work. And I also think that it's not as important as we make it out to be. So, the illusion is that if I have 100,000 followers and I'm a huge influencer and I'm doing all the shows, I'd love that. I heard in the ghetto during the week, Karen, in the ghetto, and a mama cried. And I swear to God, I had to stop doing hair. I had to stop doing hair. I had to stop doing hair and tell the client about, Elvis Live, and she's looking at me like he's a bit mental. But I had to literally stop and say, have you ever seen the Elvis, Elvis Live in the 60s, that show? I mean, that was a game changer. I mean, it was a game changer. He had made all those crap films for years and he hadn't sang live, and he was all over the place. And then he did a live show that went on around the world. This was like the first pay-per-view show ever. And he went live. Imagine the risks involved. Involved. And he sang in the ghetto with the red Elvis behind him in the red leather jacket, live to the whole world. It was played in cinemas everywhere around the world. And Elvis was back. I mean, I don't think there was a bigger moment than maybe Muhammad Ali coming back, for his back when they all said he was gone and he came back. I mean, it was one of those moments. Elvis, it was just one of those seminal moments. So if you ever get a chance to watch it, watch him singing that. And remember, he did this live and they showed it in cinemas. They showed it everywhere around the world at the same time and everybody saw it. It was one of those, it was like walking on the moon. It was one of the most seen things in the world, and he nailed it. You know what I mean? In the ghetto, and his mama cried. Boom. Complete tangent there. How you, Greg? Sorry about United today. They need to buy about 7 players, and I think you need a new manager. But anyway, my commiserations. I'm not gonna drill it down. So they asked me a question on the PM. They say, well, if I have 1 million, like if I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I have all this, that the money will arrive, that the money that I'll be making money like Ronaldo. Ronaldo gets paid 130,000 for a tweet, and probably he's worth every penny. And I sat and thought about the PM. You know what I mean? I sat and thought about the private message, and it was about 2 days afterwards. And I know Rob, and I know people who are online here who've lived on the road like I have and know what's involved. And let me tell you this, okay? Fame is expensive, okay? Fame is expensive. Now, being successful is a very, very different thing, okay? Being successful can be very advantageous and can make you quite wealthy and can make you live a quite great life. But fame can be very, very, very expensive. I can't take any more today. I know, Greg. I can't help myself, Greg. I'm sorry. But fame can be very, very, very expensive, because most, right now in particular, with the world we live in, because all you guys are superstars on this page already, most photo shoots right now, unless they're sponsored, most fashion shows right now, unless they're sponsored, are unpaid, because there's no money in it. So you're to a certain extent, unless you're at the highest of the high level, you're doing it for profile. You're doing it for because you want to do it. You want to be a part of that world, and you want to enjoy the excitement of it, and you want to enjoy the adrenaline of getting a model ready and being part there and watching the makeup being done. And it's incredible. I've been backstage, I've seen it. It's a wonderful thing, but you're not getting paid. That makes it expensive. Okay, that makes it expensive. You know what I'm saying? So people think, if I'm going to live this life and I'm going to be in this world, then I'll have loads of dough. But I'm afraid that's a different thing. That's a different thing. The top 10% who are able to create looks, you know, for those type of shows are still extremely well paid, but there's very, very few of them, and they're absolutely brilliant at what they do. We have one for Wella called Eugene Solomon, and we're absolutely blessed to have his imagination and unique perception as a part of the Wella portfolio. But he will tell you, you know, that so if you do a magazine cover, you know, at the moment it's most likely based on profile, so there's not going to be money involved, maybe maybe not a lot of money involved. So they might cover your daily rate, but that, you know, that's as far as it goes. So again, it's about having your name out there, and it's about creating your profile and all that type of stuff, which again, you know, it's wonderful stuff, but it's expensive because you need to be able to take some time off to do it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's the belief that, oh, if I do this and this, that the money just arrives and I go home. It doesn't. It just doesn't. You have to work for it, you know. So my advice to this girl who sent me this message was, fame is expensive, my love. And it was a brilliant question that she asked me, and it's the reason I'm talking about it here, that fame can be quite expensive, and that the key to be, in my opinion, would be to get your income right first. And I'm sure Rob and other people who work in salons would agree with me here, that if you can create your brand and find out what you're really uniquely good at, and try to make yourself very successful at that particular thing. There was a great question in one of the threads today where a lovely lady said, well, I'm known in my area as being the best for razor cuts. So, you know, when you're looking for clients, yeah, you're right. You're right, Salas. Fame could be success. Now, success is a different thing than fame. You know what I mean? You know, like, I still get the bus home from work, but I'm really well known. I'm on the bus. There could be 10 hairdressers on the bus. They all know me, you know, for doing this. So I'd be quite well known, but it doesn't mean that I'm getting it doesn't mean a chauffeur's picking me up and bringing me home. You know, not yet. Maybe, but not yet. Okay, so there's this illusion. Okay, but it is an illusion. You know, you have to hustle. You have to hustle, and you have to have a core income that makes you very successful, whether you're self-employed, whether you're working behind the chair, whether you're a business owner. It doesn't really matter. You have to have a strong core income, and if you have a strong core income and you can charge a lot of money for what you do, that will free you up to be able to do side projects that can make you quite famous. But you need to have your income sorted, and your income comes from your customers, be it in whatever way that is, whether it's self-employed, stylists. I got stylists work for me, they make great dough. Do you know what I mean? You know, so soon come, Martin, soon come. Sorry, I was missing the comments there. I just saw a few, I missed a few. So if there's something else you wanted to ask me there, I missed it. And a thick skin is right, Kelly, a thick skin at the beginning, because it's very competitive. You know, I remember being in Paris once, and everybody at that shoot wanted me to fail because everybody wanted the gig. It was a very well paid gig, you know, but I did about 20 dolly heads for it. You know, the prep was incredible. You know, it's like rehearsals for a film. So you don't just turn up and make a movie, you rehearse for a year. And so you should charge your worth to your clients there, Emma. You know what I mean? If you charge your work to your clients, because magazines right now, they're not making any money, because when's the last time anybody here on this thread bought a magazine, except for when they're in their salon? You know, when's the last time you bought a magazine? When's the last time you watched any TV? When's the last time, so there's an awful lot of people who will go looking for the fame and they won't have the income to back it up, and they'll end up quite well known and quite poor, and that's not a good place to be. So you need to be able to create an income. You need to be able to have your income sorted. If you have your income sorted and you can charge a certain amount of money and make a profit and know what your profit is, and bring yourself up, that you can free yourself up a little bit, freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom of thought, freedom of money. If you can free yourself up a little bit, then you can follow these other things and really, really enjoy them, Yeah, I'm glad you agree, Rob. Oh, sugar, what have I done here? Hang on there, guys. Hang on. What have I done? I don't know what I've done here, guys. Can you still see me? Can you still see me? Can you still see me? Okay, I'm okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to switch it off and switch it back on, all right? I'm going to switch it off. I'm going to switch it off and switch it back on.